Folks, President Donald Trump recently proposed a 50-year mortgage to improve affordability so more Americans can buy homes. It wasn't long after that he introduced a new idea, the 100-year mortgage. Let's take a look. In a stunning display of financial innovation that makes payday loans look conservative, lawmakers are now floating the idea of 100-year mortgages, proving once and for all that there's no problem in America that can't be solved by spreading it across multiple generations. The mathematics are beautifully simple. Take that crushing $2,800 monthly payment on a modest 3-bedroom ranch and transform it into a manageable $425. Sure, your great-great-grandchildren will still be making payments on your 2025 starter home in 2125, but think of all the extra cash you'll have for life's essentials, like that bass boat you've been eyeing, season tickets to NASCAR, and finally upgrading your basic cable to the premium sports package. Senator Ted Buckley, Republican in Texas, called the proposal a game changer for hardworking Americans, adding, "Why should banks have all the fun of collecting interest for decades? Let's make it centuries." When pressed about the total interest payments exceeding the original loan by roughly 400%, Buckley responded, "That's a problem for future America. Current America needs jet skis." Meanwhile, Representative Sandra Mills, Democrat California, expressed cautious optimism. "While I have concerns about intergenerational debt transfer, I do appreciate that this would free up capital for working families to invest in critical infrastructure, like above-ground pools and those elaborate Christmas-like displays that really stick it to the Johnsons next door." The response from everyday citizens has been overwhelmingly enthusiastic. Bobby Ray Thompson of Mobile, Alabama, shared his excitement outside a local Walmart. "This is the greatest thing from President Trump since ivermectin. Now I can finally afford that house and keep my season passes to Six Flags. My daddy always said I'd never amount to nothing, but now I'm going to be a homeowner." Technically. Martha Hendricks, a receptionist from Ohio, was equally thrilled. "With the money I'm saving, I can finally get that authentic replica NASCAR bedroom set for Jimmy Jr., fix the transmission on the Pontiac, and still have enough left over for our annual pilgrimage to Dollywood. The American dream is back, baby." Local real estate agent Diane Fortress tried to inject some reality into the conversation. Good luck. The problem is you won't be gaining any equity until you're 98 years old. By the time you actually own the home, you'll be shopping for assisted living facilities. Financial advisor Marcus Chen was even more direct. At current interest rates, a $300,000 home would cost approximately $1.4 million over the life of a Century loan. That's not a mortgage, it's a subscription service to a house. But such pessimism hasn't dampened public enthusiasm. As one prospective buyer put it, "Look, either climate change gets us all, or the robots take over. Either way, somebody else is dealing with year 75 of this mortgage." Perhaps the most compelling argument for this Century mortgage is the lifestyle transformation it enables. Financial breathing room means Americans can finally pursue their true passions. Competitive cornhole leagues, extensive collections of limited edition energy drinks, and those magnificent inflatable yard decorations for every conceivable holiday. Local resident Karen Mitchell outlined her new budget. "Without that crushing mortgage payment, I can finally afford quality essentials, the good paper plates, name brand ketchup, and maybe even one of those robot vacuums that the cats can ride around on. Plus, I'll have enough left over for our weekly rock and bowl nights. Do you know how long it's been since I've bowled with cosmic lighting? Too long. Way too long. Estate planning attorney Robert Walsh sees an unexpected benefit. This completely revolutionizes inheritance law. Instead of leaving your children assets, you can leave them obligations. It's like a reverse trust fund. Your kids won't fight over who gets the house. They'll fight over who doesn't have to take the mortgage. Some families are already preparing. The Jeffersons of Kentucky have begun training their 8-year-old son in the basics of mortgage management. Little Tyler already knows that in 2117, he'll need to make that balloon payment. His mother explains, "We're teaching him responsibility 1 century at a time." Buried in the proposal's 847-page documentation are some minor details worth noting. Missed payments can result in liens extending to parallel dimensions. The mortgage automatically transfers to your closest living relative or, quote, designated debt inheritor, and the bank reserves the right to haunt your descendants if payments fall behind. But as prospective buyer Randy Clark notes, I don't even read the terms on my phone contract. You think I'm reading 800 pages about a house? Just show me where to sign in blood, presumably. As America stands on the precipice of this bold new financial frontier, one thing becomes clear. We have finally found a way to make home ownership achievable for everyone, as long as, we're flexible about what ownership means and comfortable with the idea of death and taxes. Should really be death, taxes, and mortgage payments extending into the heat death of the universe. The Century Mortgage represents more than just a financial instrument. It's a statement of faith in the future, specifically faith that the future will somehow figure out how to pay for our present. And isn't that, in its own way, the most American thing of all?